freaking first cut. Golly.
Welcome to the First Cut Podcast. I'm Rick Gehman, and this is your round two recap for this week's Wyndham Championship, and it is a solo pod. Josh will run the graphics behind the scene. I'll give you the audio to get you up to date on everything you need to know about the cut that was made at Sedgefield Country Club on Friday. And Josh, let us waste no more time, because we will start with our overnight leader in Russell Henley. Shot a 62 on Thursday afternoon, turns right around on Friday morning and backs it up with a 66. A little bit of a slow start out of the gate, only one under par on his first nine, which was the back nine on the golf course, but he adds 3 late birdies over the course of his final 5 holes, and he turns in a 66, which at this moment is good for a one-shot lead. There are a handful of golfers still out on the course, but probably no one that is going to impact really anything within the top, 5, maybe 10 of this leaderboard. We have got Russell Henley absolutely locked into that final group on Saturday. We also know who he will be playing with, barring some type of golfing miracle that I don't think is going to happen. Russell Henley hasn't even drove it all that well this week, at least in terms of his own accuracy. Missed 5 fairways on Friday, which is a ton for one of the most accurate golfers on planet Earth, and he was still able to get out with a 66. He was asked after his round whether he has a little bit of unfinished business around Sedgefield. Remember the debacle a couple of years ago where he blew a 5-shot lead heading into the back nine on Sunday. Then there was that 6-way playoff, and Russell said, no, I don't think I have any unfinished business. These are hard to win. This one's going to be hard to win, and I'm just going to do my best and put myself in the best position to succeed. Also in the early morning wave, a couple of movers. One was Adam Svensson, entered the week 37th in the FedEx Cup standings, has essentially held that ground, has moved up just 3 spots to 34th. It was a Friday 67 for the Canadian to get in at 10 under par. He actually had a pretty busy scorecard, 2 bogeys, which are offset with 5 birdies, played well. When he gets on these shorter golf courses, you think of RSM Classic, you think of Sea Island, both the Plantation and the Seaside course. This is usually one of the better setups for him. Sedgefield, par 71, 7,100 yard, or par 70, 7,100 yards, certainly skews shorter in terms of golf courses on the PGA Tour. So Adam Svensson has himself back in the mix for the first time in what seems like a long time. Back in the mix for another time, which seems like a lot recently, is Lucas Glover. A 6 under 64, one of the better rounds of the morning, and this guy continues to roll the rock. Well documented that he had made that switch to that long broomstick style lab golf putter about 2 months ago, and the results have really started to pour in. He combines now a much more stable putter, still bad at times, with the ability to ball strike the heck out of it, and you see his name near the top of the leaderboard quite a bit. 34th in putting over the first 2 days of this tournament. That's 2.5 strokes to the positive. Gained 1.5 of those on Friday. That's good for 13th. So Lucas Glover with a flat stick is a very dangerous thing. He is 2 shots off the lead. Russell Henley, as mentioned, in at 12 under. Adam Svensson, Lucas Glover, Benny On, Brendon Todd, all in at 10 under. We'll get to Todd in a second. We'll get to some of the other guys that are actually in between Henley and the 10 unders in a moment. But we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our partners.
When you're the FedEx Cup champion, your name's on this trophy forever.
This is our season-long race. This is the sought-after trophy when we tee it up, the first event of the season that you think about.
3 tournaments with the world's best golfers battling for the tour's toughest trophy to win, the FedEx Cup. The playoffs begin August 12th on CBS.
And we're back. Some of the lowest rounds of the day came out of the afternoon wave. I've already alluded to Brendon Todd, he was someone that we mentioned last night. I think he was 30-1, Josh, last night when we did that pod. And it was like, hey, this guy drives it well. He makes a ton of birdies. And that's exactly what he did around Sedgefield Country Club on Friday. 10 out of 14 fairways, filled it up, made 8 birdies. That's good for best in the field. Gained over 4 strokes with the flat stick. That would normally be a little bit concerning, but not if you're Brendon Todd, because that's exactly what he does. He goes out in 31, adds 4 more birdies and a bogey on his second 9. Admittedly, I still like the way Brendon Todd looks moving forward. One of the bogeys he made was on number 5, a par 5. You can take advantage of that hole. He did not. Loses a stroke and a half to the field on that hole alone. I think Brendon Todd could be the one that plays spoiler for Patrick and I in the one and done this week, sitting with Russell Henley trying to make up grounds on Mark and others. But Brendon Todd, very dangerous in at 10 under. A name that we haven't talked about as of later at much all this year is Troy Merritt. Entered the week 132nd in the FedEx Cup standings. He goes out and shoots a 7 under 63, second best round of the day around Sedgefield on Friday. He is in at 7 under par, bogey free around this place. Was very impressive. The problem is, I think you might have to win to get in. Right? I mean, I don't know how many points he needs, Josh, but when you start 132nd, you're in T7 and you've only moved up to 118th, 70th feels like you are very, very far away. So Troy Merritt might only have one position that he's looking for to get himself into the playoffs, and that might be the winner's circle. At least that is the way it's starting to look right now. The round of the day, however, Billy Horschel, because why not? Why not Billy Horschel? Sure. Billy Horschel is Undertaker.gif, back from the dead, plays well last week. He goes 67, 62, 8 under. He has, as of this moment, stopped the count, end the tournament, played himself into the FedEx Cup playoffs from 116th before the event started. Josh and I were talking before we went hot. Is that the biggest jump we have seen in the final event of the regular season? Up 51 spots in the FedEx Cup standings. I believe I read he needs literally a win or a solo second to get himself into the playoffs. That is it. Now, technically, I was telling Josh, Tom Kim needed to win to get into the playoffs last year because that's the only way he was going to become a member. He accomplished that. So maybe that's a bigger deal. But Billy Horschel trying to find that 2014-esque run where he goes out and he gets hot late and actually ends up changing all the Ryder Cup rules for him because they had already chosen the Ryder Cup's captain's picks for that year. He gets hot in the playoffs and the rest is history. He might be trying to make a way back into that type of form now and rocking a beard, which looks very good on Billy Horschel. What else do we have here? We have, oh, sure, this guy's pretty important, Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas is playing his final hole of the day right now. He is on 18, and he has made a very good move. He has solidified his spot into the weekend. He has 5 under through 17. He's made 2 bogeys, 7 birdies. He's got a little, just a hair of swagger going in that game right now. He has 31 feet for birdie on his final hole of the day, so he is absolutely within the cut line. At this moment, he is T20. Remember, entering the week, he needed that 17th, 18th type of finish, but we talked about it last night. There are guys that are leapfrogging JT. If this tournament ended right now, Justin Thomas would be 74th. That would not be good enough to make the playoffs. So we are going to get at least 2 more rounds this season out of Justin Thomas. Will we get more? That is still to be determined, but it is a lot better performance that we have seen from JT so far on Friday than we saw on Thursday. Josh is going to get me the updated betting odds. We're going to see how JT finishes up here, hopefully in the next couple of minutes. I will also note some big guys who are not going to be around for the weekend. Most notably, Denny McCarthy. Denny McCarthy was one of the more popular options in fantasy golf this week, one of the more popular bets. He shot a 2 under 68 and he gone. T72 right now, 1 under par. That will not be good enough. Garrick Higo, who kind of gave this thing away late, was playing much better than this, made a double on 7, couple more bogeys coming in. He will not be around for the weekend. Shane Lowry. Is this putt for birdie right now, Josh? If this putt's for birdie, he's got a chance to get in. Otherwise, he's safe. He's at 2 under. If he can make par, that would be nice. So Shane Lowry, I don't know what this putt is for, but could be around for the weekend. Adam Hadwin on the wrong side of things, 2 over par. That's not going to be good enough. So a couple of guys that will not be playing the weekend in Greensboro. Lowry is putting for birdie, so he is going to make the weekend. Let's see the favorites, please. Russell Henley, close to even money to win the Wyndham Championship, plus 140. Billy Horschel, plus 550. Brendon Todd, plus 625. It's pretty good. Benny on 750. Adam Svensson, 9-1. Lucas Glover, 9-1. JT Poston at 20. Said it last night. I think I'll say it again. That Brendon Todd's real dangerous, man. It's a really good golf course for him. It has shown itself to be that way for the first 2 rounds. He's going to get a little bit of chaser's freedom. Only 2 shots back. I think this is a pretty darn good spot for Brendon Todd. I obviously liked the number at 30-1 last night, much better than I liked the 625. But that's the guy that I think is most likely to play spoiler here for Russell Henley, who is in the midst of having a really good week. Let me see what else we have here. I thought there was one more big name that was going to miss the cut. Oh, Hideki. Yes, I didn't scroll far enough. If you missed it, Hideki was not a big fan of bunkers on Friday. He hit a beautiful tee shot on 15, the par 5. He hit a beautiful second shot that just catches the front greenside bunker. It's kind of perched up, takes a big hack at it, lands in his footprint. Tries to take a hack out of that, doesn't move it. Gets it out, finally ends up making double. There was another hole later. He hits a ball into a bunker and it buries so deep they got to move a little sand away just to be able to identify his golf ball. It was not a good day for Hideki luck-wise, not a good day for Hideki playing-wise. A 5 over 74. He is going home and he will not be around for the final 2 rounds. Justin Thomas just rolls it in for par on the final hole of the day, finishes off a 65. At the very second we are live, he's 74th in the FedEx Cup standing, so still work to do, but he has life for 36 more holes. We'll see where JT finishes up, and we'll be back after each and every round the rest of the way to discuss it. Big thanks, producer Josh, doing all the hard work behind the scenes. You can find me on Twitter at RickRunGood. This has been The First Cut. Catch you next time.